because I found myself, I've traveled all over the world, and one of the things that I found as a common denominator is that everywhere you go, the hardest thing for people, especially in church, to grab onto is the reality of how awesome your life is, right? See, faith and facts don't have to be separate. God acknowledges the facts. Like the facts in your life may be that certain things might not be what you want them to be. But that doesn't negate that faith can still over-encompass and change the facts in your life. I'm going to give you an example. Once upon a time, it was a fact that black people in this country were considered property. We weren't even considered a full human being. That was a fact. But it was the faith of a people that said, nah, we're the children of God. This is not our destiny. Our children's children are not going to walk like this. So today, the faith changed the fact of how we live. Amen. It was a fact once upon a time that for women, the only destiny you had was to be pregnant and barefoot and in the kitchen. That was a fact. But it took the faith of a lot of women to say that I was born for more than this. I got a lot inside of me. So that faith changed the fact. See, and when I say that faith, because it always comes with an action, right? Because the Bible says faith without works is dead, right? And so I want you to look at somebody next to you and say, why not me?
Why not me?
Not me. Look at somebody else on the other side and say, why not me?
Why not me?
And see, this is the attitude we need to walk around with, because we live in think about it. We live in all the places we could live in the world. We live in La La Land, right? We live in a place where you literally can be minding your own business, driving down the street, look to the right and be like, is that Kevin Hart? That's not happening in Albuquerque, New Mexico. You know what I mean? Think about it. You can literally be driving down the street and look to the left and be like, is that Leonardo DiCaprio? This is just blocks from here. There's millions and millions of dollars being exchanged on a daily basis, right? But sometimes we find ourselves trapped in our own little world, right? And the world that we create in our mind, and we think, oh, that's good for them, but not me. Even in church, we see other churches. This is what I love about this move, that it's going to force y'all to start thinking a little bit differently, because as your surroundings start to change, somebody gonna catch this. As your surroundings, like it just naturally starts to do something to you. Like, you listen. I am the last generation of folks that were bused to school. When I was in elementary school, I was growing up in Houston, Texas, still the South. I'm the last generation of kids that were bused from the projects where I grew up in to an all-white neighborhood. It was like the Brentwood of Houston, right? Called West University. We were bused to school on a colored quota. Watch this. On a colored quota. When I got to school, they took me and all the little colored kids, right? And they put me and a few of my compatriots in the special ed class. And see, I understand that nowadays special ed encompasses a lot of people, but that was the OG special ed. Like, old girl with the helmet, was sitting next to me. I'm being for real, I'm keeping it 100, you know what I mean? Like, and then the little Downsy boy was sitting right here, and then it was me. You know what that do to your mind? Yeah. But it took a lady to look at me, my teacher, to this day, I'll never forget, her name was Mrs. Brown, and she said to me, baby, every single day when I went to class, she said, baby, you special. Not like these folks, you special. One day you're gonna touch the world. And she would say this to me every day. Fast forward, long story short, when I graduated in the 5th grade from that elementary school, see this school, because if you know anything about schools in good neighborhoods, they get good educations, right? Back in 1983, we had computers in the class. See, that didn't come till way later to the hood. But in 83 in Houston, at West University Elementary, and in 4th grade, I had 6 different classes. You don't do that till junior high. See what I'm saying? But because this was one of the top schools in the country, because we fell under this little color quota, right? I didn't know what God was doing. Understand what I'm saying? And so what happened was, by the time I got to the 5th grade, I'm going to tie this into the word, trust me. But look, by the time I got to the 5th grade, see, I started making friends with the little white kids, right? And all these kids were little millionaires kids. And so what blew my mind is that my friend to this day, Kevin Jatan, his father's name is Marvin Jatan, good old boy from West Texas. To this day, when he answers, if you call him on the phone, he says, Yeller. Right? So we used to always mess with him, but he'd answer the phone and say, Yeller, I say, Blue. And So here's my point. I went to these people's houses, and I don't know if you ever been poor, but I've been poor. I grew up poor. Okay, been homeless the whole nine. And I remember going to the house for the first time. And the thing that in my little elementary school mind would just shot my mind wide open. It was the first seed of faith that had been planted outside of my mama. See, understand, God moves in a whole lot of different ways. But here's what got me. You ready?
Amen.
I spent the night, and then I went to the cupboard because his mama said, go on and get whatever you want to eat.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wasn't used to that. Some of you have been poor, understand what I'm talking about. So I went to the cupboard, and they had all kinds of cereal. You understand? But it wasn't the kind of cereal we had. See, we had Cocoa Rouge. Y'all ain't been broke, man. Y'all understand what I'm talking about. But they had Cocoa Puffs and Fruity Pebbles and Captain Crunch. And they had, I was like, oh my God, these people own a grocery store. I didn't know what to do. And then I went to the refrigerator, right? And they had Coca-Cola. See, y'all ain't been broke. You don't know what I'm talking about, why that would be exciting. See, because if you ain't, I had cola. And they had Dr. Pepper and Sprite, and then they had Minute Maid. Do you know how expensive Minute Maid is? They had Minute Maid. And then they had Hawaiian high seafood punch. And then this blew my mind. I didn't know that you could do this. I said, man, white people are amazing. They had Snickers in the refrigerator.
Yes.
I didn't know you could put candy in the refrigerator. This blew my mind. I remember being in 4th grade looking at these people, and I looked up and I said, one day I gotta live like this. I gotta have juice and Coca-Cola and Sprite. But it did something. It showed me that you can live different than what I knew, the facts of what my life were.
Yes.
So in the book of Ruth, in chapter 1, and this is what's so exciting to me, because God always got something to say to you if you're willing to listen. Wow. See, the book of Ruth, there's these two women, and I'm going to read some scriptures here.
All right.
Right? And somebody going to catch this.
Come on now.
So, you got to understand that in those days, ladies especially, you got to understand this. Being a woman was terrible. Matter of fact, through most of history, being a woman has been an awful thing. It's beautiful to live where we live now, but you know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, because my wife might be listening, women are the most powerful people on earth. So, but back then, if you were a woman and you were single or widowed and didn't have children, it was pretty much tantamount to being dead. You had no value. Right? So here you had two women who both, a mother-in-law and her daughter-in-law, who both had lost their husbands. Both husbands had died, right? So one lost her son and her husband, the other one lost her father-in-law and her husband, right? And so really the younger one, just like her other sister-in-law did, should have went out because she was young. She could have went and got another man, but she said, you know what, I'm gonna stick with my mother-in-law. She was the original gangster. She was like, yo, wherever you go, I go. I got your back. That's what's happening.
Amen.
A little country, don't worry about it.
Amen.
So, and you know I like to read from a different translation because I want this to resonate to you, right? And so it says, when they arrived in Bethlehem, the whole town was buzzing, right? And said, is this really Naomi? See, because here's the thing. What you got to understand is that God goes before you without you even realizing that God knows your name.
That's good.
God knows your name. And they said the whole town was buzzing. They said, is this really Naomi?
Right.
And after all this time, because she had moved away, right? But she said, don't call me Naomi, call me Beth. See, Naomi meant blessed. Naomi meant beautiful, right? But she thought, because like some of us, right? Some of us, I don't know about you, but I've been in positions in my life where I've lost everything. Naomi had just lost everything. And she said, don't call me beautiful, call me bitter. Because God has turned away from me.
Oh, wow.
God has struck me down. See, I don't know if you know what it's like, but I know what it's like to literally feel like not only is God not listening, but he just is mad at me. Like he's disgusted with me. He must be, because these things can't happen if he loves me. She said, don't call me Naomi because I'm not beautiful. See, she was looking at the circumstances of where her life was at. right? And so the Bible goes on to say that her daughter-in-law went and told her, said, you know what, mother-in-law? I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna go gather, right? I'm gonna go sheed. I'm trying to use it, you know, because I've never sheed before. You know, I know there was an old, I grew up Baptist, they're bringing in the sheed. So anyway, she said, I'm gonna go behind, but listen to what she said. And I'm gonna read it, but I know about her because it's one of my favorite stories, right? So it goes on, they got there, and she said, God is ruining me and all this good stuff. And she was just, you know, because, you know, I know y'all don't get like that, you know. But, you know, so she told her mother-in-law, she said, hold on. Here we go. She said, oh, and here's what another thing this is my favorite part. Ruth was a Moabite foreigner. Right. Why does that make sense to anybody? Why does anybody care right now? Well, being a Moabite foreigner back then was like, kind of like if you right now go to Trump country and yell out that you're Mexican. You'll find out what it means to be a Moabite foreigner. If you love Trump, I'm sorry. These opinions are mine alone. They don't reflect anybody else. So anyways, so her daughter-in-law said to her, listen to what she said though. I'm going to work. I'm going out to glean among the sheaves. Following after this, but watch, listen what she says. Following after some of the harvesters who will treat me kindly. Now, here's the thing. She had no reason to believe that anybody was going to treat her kindly. She was a Moabite foreigner.
Right.
And even though the sheaves, the stuff that she would, see, they, you know, back then, you know, I know a lot of y'all ain't never been on a farm or anything, but I'm country, I done been on a few. You know, when the harvest comes in, the stuff that she was going to get for her and her mother-in-law to eat was basically dust. She was trying to grab up the stuff that was left in the dust, right? Just enough so that later on that night, her and her mother-in-law could eat, right? But again, I told you, being a woman back then wasn't a very popular thing. See, it was common for women to get raped, no problem. That's why this story is about to get really crazy. But she said, I'm going to go and they're going to treat me kindly. Somebody say, why not me?
Why not me?
See, before, this is the thing about God. God is a gentleman. God is never going to do for you what you do not allow. And the thing is, for too long, we've been talking about Jesus the genie. You know what I mean? And we think we're going to rub a lamp and say, in Jesus' name, and Jesus the genie going to pop out and do it for you. But the truth is what it says she got up and said, I'm going to go to work.
Come on now.
And they're going to treat me kindly. See, you have to make a decision.
Come on now.
Right.
You got to make a decision that something in your life is going to change.
Yep.
And then you got to speak that thing out.
Woo! Come on now.
So she said, I'm going to go to work and they're going to treat me kindly.
Come on now.
Somebody going to grab this.
Come on now. Come on
See,
now.
and what happened is that she got out there and she was gleaming amongst the dust.
Come on now.
Right? And she was just trying to gather up enough of what's left over in the dust so that she can take it home and so that her and her mother-in-law can eat for the night because she's going to have to get up tomorrow and do it all over again.
Come on.
Somebody say, why not me?
Why not me?
But what happened, because I'm going to cut through, because I know some of y'all got ADD, so I'm going to cut through. You can read it for yourself. It's in Book of Ruth, the whole Book of Ruth. So watch this. It says that the dude who owned the land that she was gleaning the sheaves on, the dude that owned the land, his name was Boaz. I got a whole different message about Boaz. I can't even tell that one now because he got some brothers. Okay, anyway. So watch this. Watch this. So it said, the Bible says that Boaz came out and he noticed. And he said to his wife, he said, hold up. Who's shorty over there in the back?
Come on now.
I just said there had to be a reason. Maybe it's just me, Zach. I don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure.
But there had to be a reason he noticed her. I'm so he wasn't like, well, who's that precious sister in the back?
Come on,
Boaz came out, and boy, you know, Boaz was single. And Boaz was like, who's shorty in the back over there? They said, oh, that girl over there. But watch what they did to her, because how many of y'all know that y'all got a lot of player haters in your family, in your group of friends that you went to school with, that you grew up with, that you work with. They gonna hate. They gonna hate. They couldn't just say, oh, that's Ruth. They had to say, oh, you know Naomi, right? So they had to throw that out there, right? That's her daughter-in-law, the Moabite foreigner. See, I know y'all ain't never had nobody talk bad about you. I done had my name in a few people's mouths.
Come on now.
Okay, I know y'all ain't never had that happen before. But,
Come on now.
You know, but it's like, why you gotta put my name in your mouth? You know what I'm
Come on
saying?
now.
Like, what I did in 88 ain't none of their business. You dig? What I did 2 hours ago ain't none of their business.
Come on
you
now.
know, but you know, come on. I'm the only one that's had haters.
Come on.
So look, they said that's that Moabite foreigner. But see, what did I say? The favor of God goes before you.
Come on now.
See, because she got up in the morning and said, I'm going to go work. And they're going to treat me kindly.
Come on now.
Boaz didn't even listen.
Come on now.
Come on.
Boaz said, tell that girl to come on over here.
Amen.
That's right. Somebody
Come on
catch
now.
this.
Hello.
So then, not only did he say, girl, what you doing? She said, you know, I was trying to get a little bit, just a little bit, a little something, something, just, you know, that's it. He said, you know what, don't even worry about it. You know, matter of fact, this is what I need you to do. The fact that he said these words, again, puts puts the whole picture into perspective. He said, stay close to my girls that work for me.
Come on now.
Stay on my land, that way ain't nobody gonna rape you. Why would he say that unless there was a lot of raping going on? You know what I mean? Like, you don't just randomly throw rape out there. Like, it just, you know what I mean? Like, you ever went to Target and be like, hey, Target, they might rape you. You know what I mean? Like, matter of fact, the only place I'd have never heard, like, you know, prison, that's the only place I'd have never heard. You know what I mean? So there's a reason. I'm making a point though. He made sure to protect her, right? Because she got up. She got up. Nobody told her to do this. She said, I'm going to go to work and they're going to treat me kindly.
Come on.
And he said, girl, you know what? Stay on my land.
Yep.
You know, stay on my land and go ahead and hang around with the girls that work for me and you're going to be all right, right?
Come on.
He said, matter of fact, you look a little bit hungry. You hungry? Girl, sit down at my table.
Come on now.
Why don't you have some of this that I'm eating?
Come on
and
now.
Then, not only did he feed her, but he said, girl, I know you about to go home a little bit. Why don't we just fill up this bag right here? Just fill it up with a bunch of stuff.
That's it.
Put some
Come on.
stuff in the bag. Somebody said, why not me?
Why not me?
Listen. There wasn't nothing special about her. She was a Moabite foreigner.
Come on now.
But God went in front of her. But that's not the end of it. See, most of us will be happy with like, oh, hey, ooh, they done fed me. I went to Chili's, man. They done gave me the 2 for 20 at Chili's. You good with Chili's. Like, you think that's it. And they don't even know about Ruth Chris. Don't even know about Morton's. But you got some Chili's. That's all that was. That lunch was Chili's. You know what I mean? Yeah, right. They done gave her a little bit extra to take home. You know, sometimes at Olive Garden, you order one, you get another one to take home. That's all they did, bro. That wasn't nothing special. He said, girl, get some of this cold water, drink that up, right? So then but because who she is, right? Because she said, I'm going out to work. So she figured they done already treated me kindly. She said, I'm going to go back out to work, right? Watch this. She said, she could have got lazy because she had enough food to eat.
Hello.
That was why she started the morning. Yeah. She could have took that bag and said, I'm going to go home to my mother-in-law because we got what we needed for the day.
Come on.
But she said, I'm going to go back out to
her. Come on now.
Now watch this. As she's walking away, Boaz instructed all the guys that oversee his field. He said, hey, check this out. This is what I want y'all to do. I want you to treat her kindly.
Oh, come on. That's it. That's the word.
That's not even the good part. He said, matter of fact, what I want you to do is I want you to ask, because see, they're gleaning right in front of her. They getting all the wheat, right? They putting it in big old bags. He instructed his men, I want you, matter of fact, while you out there, I want you to, as you going, I want you to take big handfuls and throw it out at her. Make it rain. Somebody understood that one. Allegedly. So he said, make it rain on her. Make it rain on her, right? So look what happened. Somebody say, why not me?
Why not me?
See, the thing that differentiated Naomi from Ruth was perspective.
Come on now.
See, Naomi was like, my husband died. I ain't got no sons. My life over. Right? Like some of y'all be like, my boyfriend left me. I said, he's still working on me.
Well.
But look, some of y'all want to concentrate on it, and then y'all go and y'all got the most depressing Facebook in the history of the world. And you know, and I'm not talking about nobody, but you know, if anybody got a baby daddy, you don't be doing. Really, you ain't talking about nobody specific. Hey, sorry. I know people. So look at Naomi had this whole concept that God had turned his face on her.
Right.
She was determined to just live in it. She was ready to die. But Ruth, at least Naomi had her name. People had already spoken highly of her. She could have lived off of her name. But Ruth didn't have none of that.
Right.
Ruth just said, I'm going to go out and work, and they're going to treat me kindly.
Come on now.
See, you got to get to a place in your life where the things that are around you, I get that it's the facts. I understand that sometimes you came from where you came from, your parents are who they were, where you lived is where you lived. I get all of that. But it takes for you to make a decision to say, I'm going to get up. Somebody say, get up,
Get up.
get out,
Get out.
and get something.
And get some.
That's what we used to say back in the day. We like, what you gonna do? I'm gonna get up, get out, and get something.
Come on now.
You understand what I'm saying? And so you gotta make a decision that, see, the genie don't exist.
Come on now. Hello.
But the one who blesses the efforts of your hands and can do far more exceedingly and abundantly beyond all you can ask or imagine, he is real. And the moment, see, because out of everything in the entire Bible, there is only one thing that it says that you need to please God. Matter of fact, this one thing is the one thing that says without this, it is impossible to please him.
Right.
One thing.
One thing.
People say, oh, holiness. You need holiness to please God. Not true, because yet while you were still in sin, he loved you.
Come on now.
Oh, righteousness and wisdom. No, because there's a whole lot of stupid people that Jesus loves.
Come on now.
But in the entire Bible, it says without this, and it's faith.
Come on.
Without faith, it says in the book of Hebrews, it is impossible to please God. See, because what you gotta understand is that God isn't asking you to do nothing, but look at him and say, let me see. Let me see. So I got a 7-year-old. And this dude will believe anything I tell him. But there's a caveat. Really? Let me see. Just last weekend, I told him, don't let the belly fool you, homeboy. His cousins are kind of athletic. He got one of his little cousins, my nephew was a little superstar athlete. So I said, look, man, I was all state. I retired undefeated, homie. I got letters to prove it 100 years ago. But they still exist. It's forever. And so they get to see, but I'm old school. Don't get to talking around me, because then that dude in me just jump up.
Jump up.
And you know, I ain't ran in a while, but in my head though, I'm still that guy.
Yeah.
Come on now.
So they was like, you didn't never run track. You didn't play basketball. Y'all calling me out? You must not have heard. I'm official. So we got to the house. I got to doing this right here. Y'all want to play with me? Y'all want to play with me? So I lined up 5 of them. Said, let's go. See? So we lined up, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. I never admit this to them. Inside, I'm like, God, don't make me look stupid right now. Because I got a 7-year-old looking at me, because I told him I'm the man. I'm that dude. Yeah. Right? And if I lose this race, he ain't never gonna believe nothing I gotta say. So, but I can't, my swag was official, so I was like, look, I went and changed my shoes. I put my Louis running shoes on, because I had a stun on them, right? It's really because they're the lightest ones. I need a little bit extra, you know what I mean? So, long story short, I won the race, right?
Yeah.
So it still hurts a little bit right here. This is the last time I'm running for another 10 years. Yeah. But here's my point, is that he looked at me and was in awe.
Right.
of the splendor. Here's the thing, God wants you to be in awe of his splendor. I ain't even got to the best part of the story. I'm bringing it in. See, what you got to understand is that the only difference between Ruth and Naomi is that Naomi, with everything going against her, she said, why not me? I have a friend who just the other day, I was saying with him, I'm trying to get him to come. He's coming. Not trying to get, he's coming. And help us out, do some worship and stuff. And he was saying, Jay, this church is too good to be true.
Come on now. That's what he said.
He said, this church, he said, your pastor is not real. He's not a real dude. Like, that's not how pastors talk, right? Because he met pastor, and you know what I mean? He's like, this is too good to be true. To which my only response to him was, I don't know the God you serve.
Come on now.
But pretty much anything short of speaking a word in a universe exists.
Come on now.
Everything else kind of is in the realm of possibility. You know what I'm saying?
Come on now.
And the only thing that separates people who are great from people who are not is what they believe.
Come on,
and what
right.
they choose to step out on.
Come on. That's it.
Michael Jordan got kicked off of his junior year basketball team. It wasn't even the varsity team, it was a junior, it was JV. Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady was picked in the 7th round. If you know anything about football, that means that it was like, we got one more contract to give away. Like, the Brady kid.
Come on now.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, look, I can go on and on and on about people who should have never been anything in life. And the only thing that separated them from everyone else around them was that they believed a different narrative and they decided to step out on it. Michael Jordan didn't become the GOAT because he just was like, I'm the greatest, and never shot a basketball.
Come on.
Right.
His work ethic is legendary. They say he would shoot 1,000 baskets before a game.
Come on.
You understand what I'm saying?
Come on.
So, because the Bible says faith without works is dead.
Come on.
So understand what's happening. Look, we about to step into another dimension of our lives.
Come on now.
Pastor's leading the way by saying, look, I'm taking y'all from this neighborhood to that one.
Come on now.
I'm taking y'all from a building that, look, I appreciate small beginnings. But look, he said, I'm going to take y'all from a building that at night some folks might look and be like, I don't know about church this evening. That zip code just is not conducive to Jesus. He's taking you from this
Come on,
side
brother.
because he wants you to see
Come
why
on.
not you.
Come on. Come
He's
on.
taking you to a place where apartments cost $3,000 for a one-bedroom, so that you can see why not me.
Come on now, brother. Come on, preach.
He's taking you to a place right now. You're sitting next to people that have been haggard by the hood.
Come on now.
He's taking you to a place where you're gonna be sitting next to 22-year-old millionaires,
Woo! Come on.
so that you can look at them and say, why not me?
Come on now.
He's taking you from a place that has one of the worst educational systems in the country
Come on, brother.
to
Come
a
on.
place where your kids is going to sit next to kids in private school, and you're going to say, why not them? Why not them? See, because the best part of this story, she started out in the morning
Come on now.
saying, I'm going to get up and work and get the sheaves. I said, what sheaves, man? She said, I'm going to just get some of this dust so we can make some pancakes or something. I don't know. Whatever I make with it. Use some bread, some tortillas. I don't know. And they're going to be nice to me. That's how she started the morning. But if you finish the book of Ruth, there's only 4 chapters. I challenge y'all to read it. If you finish the book of Ruth, see, here's what you got to understand. In those days, this is partially why Naomi was a little bit upset. Naomi was about to lose the bag. Some of the older folk don't know what that is. Let me explain to you. The bag, that's how the young folk talk. That's how the young folk talk. That's the inheritance. See, because when her husband died, all of his land is up for auction.
Yep.
See, Naomi had money, but she was a woman in a time when it wasn't popular to be a woman. Matter of fact, when men would have daughters, it was like they were cursed.
Yeah.
She was upset because she knew this lifestyle that I'm accustomed to living is no more.
Hello.
Because I'm too old to get remarried.
Come on.
and my husband's land is going up for auction.
Come on now.
I'm gonna get excited about myself. Her daughter-in-law decided to have her back. Young, beautiful girl. She had to be cute because he said, "Who that shouting back there?" Listen, her daughter-in-law could have got another man, but she said, "Nah, I got you.
Come on.
I got you."
Right.
She decided she didn't let the poison of the haterism
Come on.
get to her. She said, "Nah, why not me?
Come on.
I know I'm destined for something more than this."
Come on.
She started out the morning
Hello. Come on. Come on, brother. That's it.
That's right.
trying to glean the sheaves.
Come on.
2 days later, somebody say, "Why not me?"
Why not me?
2 days later, she married Boaz.
Woo! Come on now. Hey.
So the fields that she was trying to glean on
Hello.
was now hers.
Woo! That's the word right
The girls that she had to walk behind now worked for her. The news that was throwing the beat out worked for her. But watch this. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than you. See, because when you grab it, she didn't owe Naomi anything. She didn't owe Naomi anything. But Boaz bought her father-in-law's land and said, "Here you go." She was able to give her mother-in-law back. When you say, "Why not me?" it affects your kids. It affects your family. It affects anyone touching you. Somebody say, "Why not me?" Look, I could go on and on because this excites me. Y'all understand, it took everything in me not to run around and just
Come on now.
lose it. Because I understand
Come on now.
what this means. Look, y'all, you got to get this in you. You got a pastor who's going out in front of you. This
Come on.
building means more than just some real estate that he tapping into. It affects you.
Right.
It affects you. See, because when you invite your families, they might walk in here and be unimpressed. But when they go over there, what is God doing in your life?
Right.
Watch what I'm saying. The choice that he made didn't just affect him.
Right.
It's affecting your children. Right now, we barely got room for the children.
Come on now.
We walked through there last week and chopped out all the rooms for the kids. Chopped out all the rooms. They was like, we need more room for the kids.
Come on now.
So the kids can invite their friends to come to class. And then we need something to go to New Gen and the chapel over here. They need something. Some of y'all gonna get married in that building. When you decide that you were born for more and you decide to stop listening to the haters and listening to everything else that's around you and say, "Why not me?" It affects more than just you. You understand? I don't care what your life has been. Do you understand when you get up and say, "I'm about to get up,
Come on now.
get out and get something"?
Come on now.
If God before you,
My Lord.
Come on now.
even the Ravenfields can't get
Come
you.
on now.
You
Woo!
know what I'm saying? So I want everybody to stand. So I'm not going to take long. And I want you to close your eyes.
Thank you, Lord.
And we all have our own individual story. We all have our scars and our wounds of what life has done to us.
Right.
Many of us have our scars and our wounds of honestly the decisions we made and what we did to ourselves.
Right.
But here's the beautiful thing.
Beautiful thing.
You can wake up and say, "I'm going to get up. I'm going to get out. I'm going to get something."
My Lord.
Because they're going to treat me kindly.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I know there's no reason for them to. But I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway.
Yeah.
And you could have everything going against you. But see, God is so head over heels in love with you.
My Lord.
All he's waiting for, watch this, is your permission.
My Lord.
See, here's the thing. Most of y'all come like this to God. And you hold on to your anger. And you hold on to your shame. And you hold on to your bitterness. And you hold on to the hurt and the pain. And you hold on to all of these things. And you say, "Jesus changed my life." And he's standing there going, "As soon as you give me permission." Because sometimes our pain and and our shame and our guilt and our anger has lived with us so long that it's like that long time friend that we've had, that even though we have some kind of affinity for them, that we don't let them go, even though we know it's bad for us. So you stand there and you say, God, take my life. And he says, whenever you're ready, I'm here when you give me permission. And the moment that you give him permission and you let go of all of the things that you hold on to,
Oh, hallelujah.
like this, she started out in the morning,
Yeah.
hopeless and destitute.
Yeah.
And within 2 days, she was a millionaire. Listen, I can't promise you what your journey is going to be, but I can guarantee that if you let go and you trust him, it'll be better than anything that you can conceive yourself.
Wow.
I guarantee you that whatever you let go of is not worth half as much as what he has for you and for your family. I'm in a place in my life right now where I understand that it doesn't matter what I get as long as they get more than I ever could have dreamed of.
Wow.
It excites me that I've inspired a 7-year-old to believe that anything is possible.
Wow.
To think that, I don't know, maybe I want to be president. Like, it's no big deal. Because he should believe that way because he's a child of the king. Now, I didn't believe that way. But because I decided, why not me, God? Why not me? Why can't I be somebody special like Mrs. Brown told me I was?
Yeah.
And the only thing that separates me from my friends, and most of my friends that I grew up with are dead or in jail. And the ones that are not just are doing the same things we were doing 20, 30 years ago. The only thing, I've traveled the world. I've gotten paid amazing money to talk on a microphone.
My Lord.
The only thing that separated was the fact that I believed, why not me?
Amen.
So I want you to close your eyes all over this place. And I want you to look at your life. And this isn't for everybody. This is for whoever says, I want more. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Why not me? Why do I struggle? Why does my family struggle? Why can't